You're listening to a Hastings Examiner podcast. Hastings Examiner is a community-based news source which anyone can contribute to. Check out hastings-examiner.uk to learn more.
So we are here with HASHTA. They're here to tell us a bit about what they do. So if you guys could just introduce yourself.
Yeah, of course. I'm Andrea. I'm the chair of HASHTA.
I'm Vicky. I'm the secretary of HASHTA.
So what is HASHTA?
HASHTA is Hastings Area Southern Housing Tenants Association. We are the independent and we're volunteer-led tenants association in Hastings for Southern Housing tenants. We are a community that support tenants for any struggles they might be having with their homes. So any disrepair, any mould problems, any problems with their windows, or anything really that they're having with their homes.
Yeah, and we support them emotionally as well because it's very stressful going through from past experiences that we've both had ourselves. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of vulnerable people out there as well that can't fight and can't get their points across. So we like to be there for people to do that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Both me and Vicky, we're tenants ourselves, so it's a tenant-led association. So we're volunteers, but we're also tenants ourselves that have been through these issues too.
Yeah.
So how did HASHTA start?
You know?
Yeah. So I think HASHTA started on our own personal experiences. So mine particularly started through mould and damp in a property. It was so bad. My grandson, who's 2 years old now, he was born and the mould just come about and he got mould on his lungs. He was rushed to hospital and he died. And we got decanted, and the story of us was basically we did get moved and it got sorted in the end, but I had to fight like anything, and vulnerable people can't necessarily do that fighting. So it was like I didn't want this to happen again to another family because my grandson now has really bad asthma from the mould, so he's not cured, and the way it was dealt with and decanted and things like that, and the mould wasn't sorted and I wasn't listened to, there was no support there. That's why I think HASHTA is really important, to be there for other families and people, especially the vulnerable, so they can get their point across and it doesn't happen again. And it is happening, and that is the problem, isn't it? It is happening.
Yeah.
So did you start it as a consequence of that?
Yeah, it was, and then obviously Angela had the mould in her place as well, and there's no support. There was no support, and it left us really, really vulnerable, and I had to fight tooth and nail. But it shouldn't be like that, babies and children and elderly and people that are vulnerable, especially people that are vulnerable, shouldn't be left in that situation where they've got no one to turn to. That is why I think HASHTA was so important, because they can turn to us, and have that support.
So what sort of what people make up HASHTA then? Like who is HASHTA? Is it people like yourself?
Well, it's people like us, tenants, and obviously we are not high up there, behind a desk or anything like that. We're actual personal people that have had personal experiences, that have actually dealt with it. We've been through it, so I think that we come across, isn't it, with other tenants, and they come to us because they feel comfortable, because we know what they're going through.
Yeah. We're literally boots on the ground in the community, in the community centres, knocking on doors, going to community events, speaking to people. So like Vicky says, we're not sitting behind a desk or anything like that. We're in the community.
Not on the phone, we don't, we're on the phone if they need it, but we go to their homes as well. If they, they invite us into their homes, because sometimes, you deal with people with mental health as well. They don't want to go out. So we actually have a face-to-face kind of action. And it's going really well, isn't it? Right? Yeah. We've had loads of people that have just got help, and even the emotional support, not just getting their places sorted and helping them like put all the paperwork in and things like that. It's the emotional support, something that we didn't have.
Having someone on their side to talk to that understands, because we've been there, we know what it's like. rather than speaking to someone on the phone that has no idea what they're going through, having that empathy and that compassion, I think makes a big difference.
And also, I have a severely disabled 17-year-old that's in nappies 24/7. He was decanted with me, and there was no disabled kind of living space. There was no kind of help with him. His whole world was turned upside down, and I had to deal with all of that on my own. So obviously, I have got the kind of background where I deal with disabled living every single day with care of my son. So also the disabled people come to us, and I kind of understand and empathise with the highly disabled people as well, because it's, you
can't underestimate just listening to people, can you?
No.
Like it's ripe in social housing and also private rental sector as well. You go insane a little bit, because it's like, should I be putting up with this stuff? Should I be putting up with cold and asthma and all that?
And I've also helped people in temporary accommodation. So I've got family in temporary accommodation as well. So I've seen it that point as well. So it's I'm a mum as well. I'm a nan. So all aspects, isn't it? Of we kind of with Andrea and her mould and everything, and her mum who's got problems. We kind of we go off our own life experiences, haven't we?
So can you tell me a bit more, like, specifically about how you actually started HASHTA? How did you go about it?
So we had a protest over at the forecourts to ask for Paul Hackett to come and speak to the tenants, because we had
Paul Hackett.
Paul Hackett is the CEO of Southern Housing, so we had a campaign over there to ask for him to come and speak to the tenants about all the problems that were happening over in Hollington and the forecourts. We held it there because it was an easy place to hold it, because they had an actual office over there, and we requested for him to come and speak to us, because we had a Zoom call a couple of months previously, and they spoke to us over a Zoom, and things were supposed to happen after that Zoom call, which things weren't followed up, and they didn't get back to us, works weren't completed, so we thought we need to do an action to make sure things have happened. So it was a bunch of other tenants, and we asked to be respected. We asked for Paul Hackett to come and speak to us, and that didn't get us anything. He didn't come and speak to us. He didn't come down and talk to us. So we thought, well, where do we go from here? What do we do? So we decided as a community to start a tenants association, and then that way we would have proper actions and a proper committee, and we could decide together what to do going forward. So that's how we started HASHTA as a beginning.
And tenants wanted it.
Yeah.
We had
Tenants wanted a voice.
hundreds, tenants, just everyone became. So when I went on the news, and I did a big news thing about it, about my son, son and my grandson with the mould and everything, I had people just constantly messaging me like, I'm in the same situation. Something needs to be done. We've got no support. We can't talk to anyone, So I think it was funny. It was just, like you say, the tenants wanted it. So that's how it got started, I think, is so many people wanted something done and somewhere to go. And we wanted to work with Southern Housing. We wanted Southern Housing to have their own kind of tenant organisation, but they just kept dismissing us. We're really good people. We want to help. We don't want actually we're doing them a favour if you think about it, because Southern Housing, they wouldn't have to deal with a lot of the stuff that we could deal with, like tenants could come to us, and, because they clearly can't manage and support people emotionally as well as, because they haven't gone through it themselves. So, I think that's where HASHTA come from, really.
I think that's quite a key takeaway, is you are actually doing them a favour. You're going out of your way, above and beyond.
Monetarily as well, we don't get paid for this stuff. We're more than happy to do this off our own backs and be out in our communities, boots on the ground, knocking on doors, going along to community events and speaking to tenants. Because we've been there, we've been out in the sun, out in the rain, and we're happy to talk to tenants because we know what it's like to be in that situation. And we're happy to feed back the information to Southern Housing, because at the end of the day, we just want our houses to be safe, warm, clean, and free of damp and mould.
We just don't want people to go through what we went through,
No.
especially babies, you know.
It's not much to ask.
That's
No,
not exactly. Just, you know, I want to recognise them. I recognise that we're doing good. We're not doing bad. We're not against them. You know, we want. In a way, if we was established and they actually recognised us, it would make them better landlords, because they would be like, you know, their tenants will be happy because they've got someone to go to. You know.
Well, hopefully they take note of this.
Yes, exactly.
So you said there were hundreds of people signing up. How many tenants are there in HASHTA at the moment?
There's around about 200, and that's climbing at the moment because we've been up in Orr at Downs Farm, and we've just recently added on about 50, 60 to the books. So yeah, there's over 200 now.
So,
And it's just climbing.
yeah,
it's climbing
everywhere. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time we're up at the community centre, we're adding like 5 to 10 new tenants on there, and we've got follow-up meetings soon, and that's just going to add on another 20 or so more tenants to
And then
the-
other areas, we're going to do
Yeah.
community centre work at other areas,
yeah,
you know, Malvern Way and places like that. So
Yeah.
It's just going to hopefully just go bigger and bigger, and then
Yeah.
more and more people.
we have meetings planned for other areas too, so they're due to be doing in the next couple of months, so that's just going to increase it.
So if there are tenants out there who are struggling, like, do you have a message for them? Like,
Yeah, we do. Just
Get in
come and do
contact,
that.
come and see us. Like I said, we're doing loads of community stuff, aren't we, in the community centres for certain areas. But obviously, yeah, you can contact HASHTA on social media and things like that.
And if they have any worries about expressing their concerns at all, you know, some people
So-
are worried about what
Yeah,
Southern housing might
totally can be confidential. They can talk to us confidentially. Like I say, emotionally, it's not as just the stuff, the problems they've got, but you know, their disabilities and everything like that. It's all confidential, and you know, we don't share anything. But obviously, we are diplomatic in the way we deal with certain people that are vulnerable, or scared, or you know, things like that. Because we've had to, haven't we?
Yeah.
Only different people from so many walks of life.
But to directly contact us, they can email us at hashta.action@gmail.com, and that's directly to us. So it's not going to be open on social media for everyone to see. So it's hashta, HASHTA.action@gmail.com. And then on Facebook, you can go onto the Facebook group, which is just HASHTA on the Facebook groups. And then they can contact us direct, and you can always message us as well directly on the Facebook groups, or message either Vicky or myself on Facebook. That's fine.
Yep.
And is there an Instagram as well? People use Instagram.
Not Instagram. There will be soon. Yeah. There's only 2 of us at the moment doing the main bulk of work. So yeah, there is. It's on our list. We've got an ever-growing list.
So where do you guys actually meet?
We meet every month on the 3rd Monday of the month at the Forecourts Hub at 6:30 in the evening, and then we have regular coffee mornings as well every other week. And we also are we're gonna be having a drop-in centre on, I'm hoping it will be the last Saturday of the month at Hastings Common Room. Up in town.
Which we're really excited about.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
People can just come drop in,
Yeah.
talk confidentially. It's a really nice space. It's really comfortable.
Yeah, we've got some
Cozy.
cozy. So it's going to be 12 till 4,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So the
So
arts and crafts for kids and stuff, isn't there? They
Yeah.
bring their children. They're very welcome to bring their kids. And
yeah,
Can they join when they come to that meeting?
yeah, they can join up with HASHTA when they come along, or they can just come and speak to us.
yeah, have a chat with a coffee,
Have a chat,
tea,
coffee.
or you know, I bake cakes, so I'll be making cakes.
Yeah,
and bringing
Vicky makes cakes, which is lovely. Or Mum sometimes makes blackjacks for us.
Yeah.
And how do they join?
Just come along and fill out. We usually have one of our forms with us, which just literally put down your details, so your names, your email address, and your contact details, and then we add that to our list. So we've got you on our mailing list. So we send out regular updates with emails to let you know about events that we're running, and then we keep you updated.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's incredible work that you're doing.
And we're trying, thank
yeah,
you.
in your own time.
Yeah,
Back of your experiences.
Exactly. It just, we're very passionate about it, isn't it? Because, you know, it's my grandson at the end of the day, and my children. And we just don't want to see anyone have to go through that, and they are, and it's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if we can make a difference and, yeah, hopefully get recognised, and isn't it? And they listen to us and, you know, get bigger and bigger, and then the outcome hopefully will be really good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
That's
Thank
all. Thank you.